Hey everyone, today's open discussion is on whether educators have the right to post on social media. My name is Angela Emons of Emons Marketing Media, and I wanted to just start this discussion on do educators have the right to post on social media? I came across this recent article on the Cron, and I thought it was very interesting that the union is basically standing up for the teachers and saying that they're being gagged and they're basically getting their rights taken away from them and whether they have the right to use social media to post. So I have the article right here. HISD. So it's basically the Houston Union Leaders against the school district. The Houston Independent School District Teachers Union is considering legal action against the district, the HISD, which is the district, in response to a new district policy limiting what employees can post on social media. Union leaders are pushing back on the policy, saying the measure is meant to silence employees. According to the American Federation of Texas, the policy states that HISD expects an employee to not use social media or any communication platform or media, including forwarding or liking post communications to communicate false or misleading information about the school district, particularly if it is designed to damage the school or district's reputation and undermines the school or district's high performance culture. So that leads, if you're like me, the first thing that, you know, you go, if you're bad with your government in the laws, first district is your First Amendment basically says that you have the right, the freedom of speech, press, assembly, right to petition the government for redress or grievances. There is a fine line between whether we have the right to use social media. The crazy thing is that the government nor these big social media companies, they have not decided whether, how legal it is to really be on social media, especially in these companies. Do you have the right to post if it's going to highlight a company in a negative way? There are companies, and I recommend if you work for a company and you like to be on social media, what are your social media policies? What are your social media policies? Do you know what the policies are? Do they have the right to legally ban you? And here in this case, we are talking about the teachers in Texas, but right today it's Texas, tomorrow it's Georgia, next week it's the United States, next week is the federal law. Do you know what the policy is that you are doing with your at your particular company? The next question that really kind of gets me is what is considered false or misleading information? According to the school district, if it makes the school, if it damages the reputation. So if it damages the reputation, but it's true, do you not have the right? Do you not have the right to say something about it? And that's the other questions. Is it a gag order? The union representatives say HISD policy violates educators' free speech rights and 14th Amendment. I didn't go through the 14th Amendment, nor am I a lawyer. But more specifically, it's an overboard, vague gag order. The policy adds to the long list of absurd changes and actions that Miles have made that have had absolutely nothing to do with improving public education and the kids' achievement. Houston school students are walking into schools next week in a powder keg environment that has got to the top. That has got to stop. The Houston Federation teacher president Jackie Anderson said that the union's decision to consider potential legal action against the district comes as the district moves to terminate one of its own educators for their conduct during a school board meeting. HISD educator Larry McKenzie is facing termination after comments made at a June HID Board of Management meeting. As first reported by the Houston Chronicles by Sam Gonzalez, basically, McKenzie mentioned the name of family members of one of the board members and held up a paper saying that he was going. that the paper he held up, the paper that he held up has the contact information of everybody there. And his point for doing that was that he was voicing his frustration with the lack of public contact information with the Texas Education Agency. Now, if you know, like I know, and if you're a parent like I'm a parent, you know how difficult it is to get a hold of somebody. And they don't want you to find them. So I kind of get why he did it. But they feel like that he basically threatened them. He threatened to put their information that should be available, technically available, out there. And that is not right, which is why he's in jeopardy of losing his job. If you don't give someone a way to contact you, they'll contact you in a way that's most convenient, which is through social media, because people are detectives. They'll find you online. And so as they move on, they say that the policy remains the same as when school started. However, in response to inaccurate information circulating online, the superintendent, Mike Miles, has asked that the board of managers reiterate this policy to their representative teams. And the Texas School Association of School Boards personal communication policy states each employee shall be held to the same professional standards in the public use of electronic communications for any other public conduct. If an employee use of electronic communication violates state or federal laws or district policy or interferes with the employee's ability to effectively perform their job duties, the employee is subject to disciplinary action up to including termination of employment. Now again, it goes back to when you're liking, commenting, sharing that is something that is actually true about a school, should you be held, responsible for sharing the content if it's true? If it can be deemed true, even if it holds the school, it makes the school look bad and it's negative in a negative light. Should it not be pointed out? That's really a question that's left to be determined. Whether a school should be held responsible for things that are happening that is not faults that a teacher feels should be brought to light. I'm interested in hearing if any of my teachers are actually, I'm actually interested in hearing how my teachers feel. If you're an educator, do you feel like you have the right to post? Do you feel like teachers should be given the right to post? This is an open communication. Obviously, I cannot be held responsible if if you're not allowed to comment on this. But I would like to hear, do you feel it's fair? If it's unfair, I mean, it's something to actually go ahead and share. A lot of companies don't do have a social media policy that is that is part of what they need to implement. Some companies, you're not allowed to be on social media during the daytime or while you're on working hours. But what you do when you're at home, is that not the privacy of your own home if you share an article or post that happens to be true? Now the question goes back to is whether it's true or not, and can it be verified? Is it verified information? Is it actually true, or is it what somebody made a comment in reference to it? I would like to know what you think, how you feel. I want you to make sure if you watch this video to subscribe, like, and comment. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts. Is it fair? As a parent, do you think that teachers have the right to share information that is accurate, regardless of how it makes the school look? As a parent, I want to know. I do want to know. I want to know. So I'm interested in hearing your thoughts.